I missed my clocks. 4:05. All right, so why don't we please call the meeting of the Fairfield Traffic Authority for Thursday, November 20th to session. I would like to ask everyone to please rise for the pledge. And I would like to ask our guest, Police Commissioner Peter Ambrose, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
My pleasure. Sorry, you're putting me on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Something I would do.
It was emotional.
All right, so Bill, in Mega's absence, if I could ask you to take down our roll, who's here, who's not here.
Sure. Okay. Just for the record here, we have Jeremy, Drew, got Frank Patisse, we have Anthony Calabrese, Kevin Kiley, myself, William Hurley. Online, we have Emmeline Harrigan.
We do.
And we have
Mr. Randolph.
Jeff Randolph,
All right,
also online.
all right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So,
All right. So we're short a person or two, so Mr. Randolph will be a voting member
That's right.
at this meeting. Welcome, Mr. Randolph, good to see you. All right, so we have the roll call and the pledge taken care of. Our next item is item number 3, to consider and act upon the October 16th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Is there discussion on the minutes, amendments, changes? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 0. Okay. Just give me 1 second here to get caught up.
now this number 4.
Good. All right, so we'll move on to number 4, which is a series of items for us to consider before us, various traffic and signage issues. So item number 4, to hear, consider, and act upon new signs and markings for the following streets. We'll take them one at a time. Letter A is the speed limit signs request at Congress Street, halfway from the Easton Turnpike. So that was in the everyone's backup. I hope everyone had a chance to take a look at it or read through the information. I'm going to turn the floor back to Mr. Hurley to speak to these, and we'll get input from engineering, from police, from public works, and from board members on each of these particular items.
Sure. The speed limit, let me just clarify a little bit. When they say Congress Street, they are referring to Congress Street between the Black Rock Turnpike and Easton Turnpike, so in between routes 58 and 59. A drive-through there, we had seen some speed limit signs, but they were mainly on the western half, so the gentleman is correct. There weren't too many on the what he calls halfway, that would be from Morehouse Lane to Route 59. And so I believe the proposal is to install speed limit signs on Congress Street, one in each direction, somewhere between Morehouse Lane and Heritage Drive. And that's in Easton, and for those who might not be familiar, that's right near, there's a little bridge right after that. So in Fairfield, so we're really talking about in between the bridge or Heritage Drive and Morehouse Lane.
Thank you. Questions, comments from board members? On the line. Yes, ma'am.
Bill, did you find that speeds were excessive? Did you go out and actually monitor speeds in the area?
Not, as far as I know, We did not, but in general, because this is a well over a mile stretch without speed limit signs, I certainly think that the request is warranted, and hence I was one of the ones that helped suggest that, and I know Mega was in favor of it, and I believe most people here will be, but we'll do a formal vote when it comes to it.
And what's the request for what speed posting? Is it 25 miles per hour? Is it 35?
Yeah.
25.
And that's the only thing I have to admit, I did not have a chance. I tried twice today to look up, because, Connecticut DOT has the list of the speed limits, so you can confirm it. It's
We give out tickets there daily.
Oh, it is 25.
It is 25.
Okay, so then it
Okay.
would be
Yeah.
Huge cut through.
25. Yep.
What is the regulation on signage? Every so often, is there a specific regulation on sign distance from whatever that we either are within or not within?
There's no specific, because every street is different, in
Right.
terms of length.
Right.
But they do, I think, have a guidance where they basically say if it's in between, several intersections or a long stretch of nothing, that you should post it. In some engineering studies, it's the adage of, if you had 11 signs, that's too many signs for someone to read. It's too much in your head. Conversely, if you see a sign, after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, you forget what that sign said, so if you base it on that fact, certainly this is definitely warranted, the speed limit 25. And since there's a lot of cars that come off of Morehouse Lane, that's one of the major roads that intersect with Congress Street, I would say that's good.
Show a couple of different ones. Which section is this?
It's the not Mine Hill Road, it's the other side.
No, this is,
The other side.
Marsh?
yeah, between, by the Hi-Ho Motel is Black Rock Turnpike, and then Route 59 is Easton Turnpike. Yeah. By the gas, near the Merritt gas stations. Try to give people some.
Yeah, okay.
So which one does that fall under here?
For those who don't know, right now Frank's looking on his computer just to get a better understanding of the location.
With State Route 713.
Yeah, there's a little state road section there.
Which one is that?
That would be right off the exit ramp, off the Merritt, from the Merritt exit ramp
You
to,
guys want me to share my screen?
it's the exit ramp between from the Merritt
Yeah, Jeff, go ahead, please.
and,
I'm just like, Osta has like 3 different speed limits listed on Congress.
that's what I was.
Mine Hill to
wondering, too.
Black Rock Turnpike, it says 30.
Okay.
North Street to Mine Hill says 25.
That's the other side,
Hoydens Hill to State Route 713,
Hoyt-
35.
35.
5 it goes up to, okay.
Then yeah, I had a feeling on that, that's why I didn't know. I didn't have a chance
Is
to
this
look.
section even listed on it though?
I don't see 735.
No, Hoydens, just to give you, Hoydens is gonna be just after the Hi-Ho, right after the exit.
Right, yep.
It's the first intersection right after the exit there.
I don't see any stop signs here. I mean, I'm sorry,
No, no,
any.
there are a couple,
Yeah,
on that section,
I'm looking right
but
now.
not from Morehouse Lane.
Which way you going? You want to go the other way?
No, both ways.
Yeah, I don't, here's Heritage.
Yeah, no, there's none right there, Jeff, that's correct.
Yeah.
But as Frank pointed out, legally, the speed limit is 35 there for that section.
Well, I don't know where SR 713 is. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out.
that,
Jeremy, you're enforcing right there, and you're enforcing at 25, right?
That's what I'm trying to confirm right now.
yeah.
They're enforcing daily, I'm just trying to, I can't get on my computer.
It get most, about 95% of the streets in town are speed limit 25, outside of your major, state routes. But there are some sections that I know off the top of my head, I know, because we tried to fight it with the state. Wilson Street is 30 miles per hour. Upper Reading Road is 30 miles per hour. And I knew this Congress, because Congress Street, there was one section with the rumble strips that they put in. had to be 35 or less.
So all my traffic guys are saying 25.
25?
That's what they're enforcing at.
What's the default if it's not posted? 25?
I think so, right? No, real thing. No, for local roads.
Bill, do you need to make a specific recommendation as to where we put those signs?
Well, the recommendation was in between Morehouse Lane and Heritage Drive. So the exact location, I mean, we could end up putting it on a map if need be. But there's a little bit of leeway when you have a speed limit sign. You want to make sure it's highly visible. But the quagmire we have now is
The number.
Posted
technically
for-
the posted speed limit is 35.
Where is State Route 713?
Okay. If you're going southbound on the Merritt
Okay.
and you get off at exit 46, because I don't think there's a 45, that's the no.
Okay. Yeah.
46, there's a quick little clover leaf, almost like a
That's it?
U-turn. From that point over,
So from that point
Right.
over to Hoyt
Right.
and Hill then would be.
no, from that point to the state road, 59.
59, so just that short.
Is definitely that little section. It could
That's
also
713,
include,
okay,
right.
all right.
It could also, and we have a map at the office. If it's
Okay.
critical, I can get it right now. The other would be the on-ramp, because essentially.
So either way, the
on-ramp-
section from Hoyt and Hill to that is 35.
Right.
on the
That's
Postage
correct.
Approved website.
Right. Yeah, and I tried to get on, I just couldn't get it, just to confirm, because that was the only thing that I was worried about.
So, subject to knowing what the number is, right?
We can add a speed limit sign for what the approved
Do
is,
that, or we can approve this with,
or if you want to investigate lowering the speed limit.
Yeah, you'd have to, right now, the current way
We
would be, you'd have to petition the
make a
state.
motion to petition the state, because that
Correct.
has to come from this board.
that has to come through the state, right? Well, maybe we do both. We could,
Well,
Can I
I
just-
guess,
go ahead. Go ahead.
can I ask, Jeremy, what does traffic recommend in terms of, I mean, it's a pretty straight road, but it's the lanes, how wide are the lanes, Bill? Are they narrow enough to warrant 25 miles per hour?
Well, the state goes through a whole mess of criteria.
They do their own
Yeah, they'll do
investigation.
their own investigation. OSTA, correct? OSTA, Office of State Traffic Administration, will do a study, and the town would petition. If I recall, the town has petitioned that twice. Once, the town was successful in lowering the speed limit, and the other time, and ironically, I brought it up, at Wilson Street, we wanted to go from 30 to 25.
Got denied.
And it was denied, that's correct. You were on the commission then.
Interesting. Okay. Well, whether it's 25, 30, or 35, we certainly want to have signs that are telling the world what
Yes.
they are, what the speed limit is. So is the pleasure of the board to just hold this and figure that out and come back and do both pieces? Or there may not be sense putting a sign up, well, there isn't sense putting a sign up that we
If we're
don't.
going to then petition to change it in a month, yeah.
Right.
Can I just clarify one thing?
Yeah, sure.
The 35 is just at that part of Route 713.
No,
right?
no.
It's the
It's
whole
from,
thing.
it says
Boyden.
from Hoyt and Hill to 713.
So it's that whole-
Basically, it's the whole town stretch.
Okay, That's what I wanted to
Imagine
clarify.
it being 35,
Around that curving.
going down Morehouse Highway.
I think they would have, I mean, I think they would approve it at 25 if you.
It doesn't seem like it should be 35, right? That's a pretty,
Well, the one curve that Jeremy's talking
We
about,
have-
we've got chevrons, we've got guide rail, yep, but,
Google Earth.
Show. I'm curious to see what the speed limit sign is south of Morehouse,
25.
which is.
But the one that's,
That's also technically east of Morehouse, so it should be 35. If it's saying from Hoyden's all the way up to 59,
they're,
Doesn't make sense.
one of the speed limit signs, I think, is in between the Hi-Ho and Hoyden's.
if it says
And then it says
25.
20, because that stretches.
I
I think there is one in between
Right.
those two, yeah.
That's why it's 25, and again, speculation, I know it's public or whatever, but that might have been the reason why the police
Or enforcing
didn't
25.
do the 35.
Okay. So maybe we need to hold off on this and figure some things out. What are those things that we need to figure out, just so we're clear? We need to
See what the OSTA approved speed
From the
limit is.
approved speed limit,
confirm the speed limit. Okay.
then do we want to petition them to lower it to 25, which would be a vote at this board?
Yeah.
If it
So-
comes-
and I think we
if it
can
comes
vote
back
for
at
that
35.
today.
I think we can vote for that
Yes.
now. I mean, I'm comfortable voting for that.
Voting to petition the state?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely for that. I mean, that's a
So we
pretty
would,
tight road.
we would change then, I would recommend to change the decision or whatever, where we would say, instead of installing or approving, we would say is that we would petition the state, OSTA.
Where's Pearl?
She's taking minutes from another room.
From her office. I
Oh, she can hear, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
So the motion would be to rephrase what we're going to be voting on, to forward, recommend a study, forward to the state, OSTA, recommend a speed limit study for that section of Congress between Hoydens Hill and Connecticut, it was 713,
State Route 713.
713, yep.
Okay.
And then they may come down, and then the petition would just be to lower the speed limit. We could recommend 25, or we could let them decide whether it's 20, 25, or 30. We could say whatever we want, they're
I think
gonna
we
do
put
whatever.
25 on the application, let them do
But,
it.
okay, so, all right, so we'll say then,
It's consistent with the
Yeah.
rest of the town, it's consistent
okay,
with
so
that
we
one
will
piece of
actually,
the road.
we'll actually petition them to lower the request then to OSTA would be to lower the speed limit to 25 miles per hour in between Hoydens Hill and State Route 713.
All right, so let's summarize that in one shorter sentence, if you could, and then,
Between the two more houses.
so we are not going to take action on the signs at this time, there's no need to, it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
However, in lieu of that, we are going to recommend that we do two things. We are going to petition the state authority to reduce the speed limit to 25 miles per hour, right? Okay.
Unless it already is.
Hi,
They'll come back and
it's
tell
Prue.
us.
I just wanted to let you know that I can hear everything,
Thanks.
and I'm taking minutes from my office, but I do have one quick question. Do you want me to just say to lower the speed limit to 25, or do you want me to add or their best recommendation?
No, they're going to recommend whatever anyway, so.
Okay.
I say, right, yeah, I would
Okay,
say
thank you.
petition them to lower it to 25.
Correct.
I think that's
Then when they
better.
do their study,
So we
they'll
could,
come
yeah.
back and tell us.
So in shortening it, it would just be petition OSTA to reduce speed limit to 25 mile per hour for Congress Street.
And we can leave it
Yes.
at that.
And yep.
So why don't
Okay,
we
thank you.
simplify it to that?
Yep. It's one sentence.
Line's raising her hand, and I think Jeff has his hand up.
Okay.
Jeff was first.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, so is there, I know you've been putting up these electronic signs across town, and I know that some of them are temporary, but to address the, neighbor concern, can we put a temporary sign in for now to actually control the speed? Because those are pretty effective.
Radar,
I
temporary.
don't think the concern was speed. I think the concern was just there was no speed limit sign. Right? What was the complaint that
Yeah,
came
but
in?
didn't you say you give tickets there all
There are
the
three
time?
speed limit signs. There are no speed limit signs from the halfway point to Easton Turnpike. Therefore, people entering Congress Street northbound from Morehouse do not know the speed limit.
That's correct.
So yeah, it was
wasn't.
because there was no sign. It wasn't specific.
So
We
Jeff,
can put it on the list. to-
Yeah,
225 mile per hour.
Next time we rotate, we can consider putting it on the list.
Thanks.
the speed regulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine, yeah.
just a quick side note, the state had awarded two more speed feedback signs. Did Fairfield get, I just wanted to make
They're
sure.
already installed.
They're already out, huh?
Okay, good. There
South
you
Pine
go.
Creek and High Street.
Okay.
At least we have two more to rotate around.
Yep, that's what it.
All right, Jeff, so thanks for that. So we will add that to that as well. So,
Can I also add a friendly amendment?
you can.
So in lieu of this having to come back, regardless of what OSTA decides, it sounds like a speed limit sign is necessary. So whether it's 35 miles an hour or 25 miles an hour, does the LTA mind adding as a phase 2 to this? Whatever is decided by OSTA, the signs will be installed so that we don't have to have it come back.
Fair enough, yeah, we
I
can
think
do
that
that.
sounds good.
So the
Yeah, then it just
the
becomes.
board would honor whatever the OSTA says,
Right.
and then we would vote
you.
to install.
All right, so there's really there are three things here. We are going to determine what the speed limit is per OSTA.
Correct.
We are going to put some temporary speed, I forget what the name of the sign is.
Feedback.
Yeah, we'll consider putting the
Yeah, consider.
electronic speed signs.
We will consider
Consider
putting
it.
those when available.
Yes.
And we will install the proper speed limit sign that OSTA approves once we have that response.
Correct.
Gotcha?
Crew, that good?
Everyone kind of sort of good with that? It's a little mushy, but it sounds okay. All right. Any discussion from the board on what's in front of us? Any discussion from the public? Hearing none, back to the board. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Jeff, you were up, right? Yes, okay, sorry. 7-0. All right, so that is A as amended. Good work.
To show you, I thought that was going to be a quick 1 minute one, and then.
Well, I just assumed it was 25. I mean,
Yeah.
95% of the town is, and that's a pretty curvy, dark road, right? You just, right? So anyway, live and learn, right? All right, letter B, stop sign request at Cricker Brook Lane. Mr. Hurley?
Sure. The request was one of the residents that live on Cricker Brook Lane, which is a small cul-de-sac, 5 houses on it. They do have trouble pulling out, especially making a left-hand turn. Unfortunately, the stop sign does not meet warrants for a non-correctable situation, and so therefore, we're recommending stop sign removal. We're denying the stop sign. However, being that there is a little bit of a sight distance issue, we're creating a work order for the DPW to improve the sight line by cutting back brush in the right-of-way.
All right, so just quickly talk us through your rationale for why it should not be installed. Just help us understand. I know Mecca talked about it when we put the agenda together, but
Right.
for the benefit of the group.
If and again, I have to double check on whether speed study was done at that location or not. But I do know that cars are coming down the hill on Hoyden, so that would be going, I guess, southbound. And as I said, we could see where the cars coming out of Cricker Brook would have a tough time doing a left-hand turn. But to have a stop sign for a very small volume street, it does not meet the criteria for a stop sign warrant. We can improve the situation by removing the brush to help improve the sight distance. Another aspect was the cars coming down the hill. In winter or in rainy conditions, it's not always ideal to have a stop sign where it's on a higher steep slope. And so that was another reason as well. So we're hoping to improve the situation with the work order from DPW. And then there's another item that if that somehow doesn't work, we could revisit it with a warning sign if there's not one there.
There would be a warning sign for the cars coming down that hill.
Right, yeah, that there's an intersection.
That there is an
ahead.
intersection.
Right, exactly.
Okay, but you would recommend holding off on that and trying this other stuff?
Well, I would do that first. Yep.
All right, so that's the recommendation by engineering. The item is before us for discussion by board members. So to not put the stop sign in, clear the brush, clean it up, make it more visible, and should that not be a solution, we could consider at that point putting a warning sign to the perpendicular traffic to let them know that something is.
Correct.
All right, does that make sense? Any comments, any questions on this item? From the board, from the public?
Yeah, I had my hand up here.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Bill, that makes perfect sense. Is there any possibility, I know we're considering traffic calming, is there any possibility you could put a traffic calming measure in there?
For that exact location, I don't think so. I mean, right after that is a really bad S-curve that's like, I think you can only handle it at 10 or 15 miles per hour. It's a very narrow road to begin with. It's too narrow to put like edge lines or anything like that. The only thing, if the board doesn't mind for just a minute or two, if someone could just do the Google Street View as you're coming down southbound on that.
Yeah, I got it open if you want to share it.
Is there an intersection sign? Because if there isn't one, we
No, I
can
don't
put
think
one.
so. I don't
There's
think
not?
so.
So then we could add that to
That's
that.
what I was,
Yep,
that's what I was
right.
asking about with my
Right.
previous comment about,
Right.
you know, that upcoming intersection yellow sign.
Yeah, I think that would, then we could add that to the, so the request would be stop sign is denied, but to put it on going southbound, an intersection ahead
An
sign,
intersection ahead sign.
and to clear the, and a work order for the DPW to clear the brush.
I'm fine with that. I'd almost rather do that than do it over two
Right,
different
yep, right.
sessions.
As Emmeline was saying, if you could do them both together, why not?
Why
So,
not?
yeah.
Yeah. With that before us, any discussion on those two items? All right, so I'll make a quick amendment here. So what's in front of us is a stop sign request. So we are going to say no to the stop sign. However, we are going to recommend two things. One is for DPW through a work order to clear the corner of brush and other things that are in the way of the sight line, and to install an intersection of head sign north of that, right? Is it north?
Yeah, north going southbound,
North
correct.
heading
Yep.
south, right. So with that being a motion, if we can get a second for that?
I'll second.
All right, so that motion is in front of us. Any further discussion from the board on 4B as amended? From the public? All right, back to the board for a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, okay. 4B as amended, carries 7-0. 4C is a speed hump request at Osborne Lane. Mr. Hurley?
Okay, on this one, I do know that engineering had put out the Black Cat, the hidden speed detection, and there was no speed issues on Osborne. They put it out for a solid week, and if I recall, the speed, the 85th percentile speed, well, I know the 85th percentile speed was actually below the speed limit. So it didn't meet.
That's the information that Mega shared with us
Right.
on Monday as well, is that there was a detectable speed issue there that needed to be rectified. Okay. So the request is for a speed hump. 4C. Any further discussion on this? So the recommendation from engineering and police was to not approve.
Correct.
To not approve, okay,
Not
just so we know. So what's in front of us is a denial of 4C for the speed hump, just to be clear, for discussion. Emmeline, did you have something? No? Okay.
Wait, Frank, did you want to?
I'm abstaining from this item.
Oh, Frank is abstaining on this, right, okay, right. All right, anything from the public on this one, the speed hump? All right, so we'll go back to the board for a vote. I'll be denied. Yes, sir, Mr. Ambrose.
I mean, we've always, having heard Bill before the Traffic Commission, you've always been concerned about speed humps because of the safety of snow plowing and things to that effect. Does this not fall into that pattern?
It does, but there is, at someday, this committee will have to revisit that. For our Safe Streets for All grant, we are working on finalizing and hopefully going to have a kickoff meeting very shortly with our consultant. And then from that, if the consultants have done their own studies, they may find out. The police, you might recall, the police department had done an extensive, I want to say it was 120-something pages study of pros and cons. And at that time, the police commission had denied the use of speed humps.
As a rule.
As a general rule. But certainly, there's always a potential for other traffic calming measures. Being from the Google Street View, doing a couple of site visits in the past there, that area has a lot of on-street parking. And believe it or not, on-street parking sometimes is one of the better traffic calming measures. And so, and as I said, just on terms of priority, if we really would have to have a speed hump policy and have a prioritization, because it wouldn't be fair to maybe another neighborhood where maybe a speed hump could be considered to have, one that's below the speed limit when maybe some other neighborhood would be the first trial.
Yeah, we've had these discussions for years at Police Commission, whether it's precedent setting or whether it's safety or, there are a number of reasons that they make sense in some cases, but as a general rule of thumb, we have been guided and decided to kind of not get in the speed hump business in the big picture at
Right,
least.
now, just to let the board know.
That's subject to change.
Right, subject to change,
Right.
because we are considering, as demonstration projects in the near future, of raised intersections and maybe perhaps raised crosswalks where it would make sense because of such a high volume of pedestrians that it's in the best interest to do that as a demonstration or something like that and go from there. So just want to, highlight that's something in the future, but currently, right now, as it stands, and especially because the speeding study showed that it wasn't warranted. Because, there's another aspect of, depending on the speed hump, it typically has like cars doing, say, 25 miles per hour. Well, if you're already below 25, why would you put a speed hump in? It would not be effective.
Right. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Anything further from this or about this item 4C? All right, so the motion is to deny the speed hump request at Osborne Lane. That's what is before. So a yes vote is to deny what's in front of us. All those in favor?
If I'm not sure.
Opposed, abstentions? So the motion,
Jeff, were you for it or against?
I'm against it. I just
Okay.
so.
That's okay, that's all right.
it's all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to speak earlier, but when, I know we've had the policy to not have speed humps, but that's in contradiction to state and federal standards. As part of SS4A, are we going to be, I'll say, aligning ourselves with state and federal standards?
Well, Jeff, I believe that's a conversation for another meeting, because we haven't come up, we haven't, the town has not come up with a policy to not do it. We don't really have a policy from Police Commission. It's been a practice of not being pro-speed hump across town for the various reasons that we've talked about here and for other reasons on a case-by-case, request-by-request basis. So I think those are good questions, and I think they should be addressed when we get closer to having a conversation about what the town plans to do in the bigger picture in accordance with state and federal standards and in accordance with what we believe is in the best interest of our town.
Yeah, no, I get it that an ad hoc addition of speed humps is incremental and not systematic, but my view is like, why not? They're not very expensive. We know we've got, a serious safety problem, and the 25th percentile calculation is, there's a lot of debate over whether that's the right standard because it takes one person doing 60 to kill someone. And this is it's near a high traffic area. And so I'm just maybe being a little controversial and saying, I think we should try to open up the conversation about perhaps testing this in places where people have identified it as a need and then systematically through SS4A addressing it.
Right, but Jeff, just to add really quick though, because we could debate this for an hour. And just to let you know, and that the town's goal is, and that's one of the reasons for the grant here is to try to get that and to prioritize it as well. Because like I was saying before, there could be, 60 other streets in town that are more deserving of it. Now, again, Vision Zero, is a whole, you got to do for everybody. But then there's budget, there's also, you got to come up with a plan to provide these, and like you said, whether it be systemic or whether it will be from a planned and a priority approach, that's something we're going to rely on the consultant who has had several of years of experience and projects in this matter. So, thank you.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Okay, so we can move on to item 4D, which is the stop sign request at Riverview Circle in Wareham.
On this one, Riverview Circle is a dead-end road. It's a fairly long road. It's straight. And there is, as you approach the Wareham intersection, you do get a little bit lost because there's a tree on either side. One is like an evergreen variety. The other is deciduous. And you don't really know that there's an intersection ahead. So the stop sign, again, the stop sign warrants aren't there in terms of volume. For Wareham, Wareham intersects 4 other parallel streets that are parallel to Riverview, and none of them have a stop sign either. So for consistency, and because it doesn't meet the stop sign warrants, we're recommending denial of that. But as I said before, as you approach the intersection, a lot of people, especially if they're not familiar with the area, might not realize that there's an intersection. So certainly for going eastbound, you would have an intersection ahead sign for that to let people know that there's an intersection there. And again, same thing that DPW could trim or send a letter to the resident to trim back the one tree to help improve the sight distance. So that was engineering recommendation. But we're open for discussion if anybody disagrees.
Jeremy, what were your thoughts on this one?
I think it was the same sentiment as engineering, just the notification that the engineering's ahead. Because Wareham does have the stop signs, and the majority of cars, it's a dead-end road. It's not a big cut-through road. So I think just that one sign saying for visitors so they know that it's their intersection approaching, I think is sufficient. I don't think it needs to be a 4-way stop. I don't think there's enough volume to make it a 4-way stop.
So an intersection ahead sign on the approaching perpendicular road.
Yeah, going eastbound on River towards the dead end.
Yeah, towards the dead end.
Because anybody coming from the dead end, it's a clear sight line.
Gotcha. All right.
It's only going that
I'm
one
just trying
way.
to picture the intersection.
Yeah, so it's only that one way. We have the trees coming from
Yeah.
the other way. There's nothing obstructing the intersection.
Oh, actually, I did.
And everybody living there, everybody coming from there knows.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this one.
We didn't have time to.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And we don't have any accident history there, so.
Right. And again, stop signs in most cases are really just to designate who has the right of way, and here it's clear.
It just gives the extra little notice for people not familiar with the area that there's an intersection ahead.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit, guys and women. Sorry. What are your thoughts from the board? Make sense?
Yeah, I agree with the
You agree?
recommendation.
Okay. So we could entertain a motion for 4D to deny the stop sign request, but add an intersection ahead warning sign located, get me right.
Yeah, located, would be going towards the end, or eastbound, or towards the
West
dead
of
end.
Wareham,
West of
Yeah,
Wareham,
okay.
heading east.
or eastbound
Yeah.
traffic.
For eastbound traffic. Thank you. That's why it stopped. And to also request that Public Works do a...
Actually, on that little drawing there, I'm trying to see, I might have wrote the pole number, and that would even be the best location
Oh,
for you.
yeah, so
You did.
Yeah.
Whole numbers off.
to
All right,
install
so-
the
790.
intersection ahead,
Intersection ahead sign in front of pole
798.
798 and to request Public Works. Would it be Public Works to do some cleanup, or is this on the homeowner exclusively?
It could be
We'll
either
have
or.
to check the right of way.
All
Yeah.
right, we'll check the right of way for clearance and visibility. So that's the motion. If we could second that for discussion. Okay. Mr. Hurley? So that's on the floor, to say no and do those two things. That would be the motion for discussion, for consideration, for board comment, or for comment from the public, if there is any. Okay? If not, we can go back to the board for any additional comments. And just to clarify, voting yes for this will be to deny the stop sign and do the two things as recommended, the cleanup work and the intersection ahead warning sign on pole
798.
798. All right? All those in favor of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Opposed, abstentions. That carries 7-0. Thank you.
Hi, excuse me again, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I find out who did the second, please?
Mr. Hurley.
Okay. Oh, I thought he made the motion. I apologize.
Kevin made the motion.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Okay, 4E, Bryan Drive, removal of no parking signs.
Okay, this is one that goes about a decade and a half ago, where the neighborhood wanted the police commission to put up no parking signs because of potential illegal activity. That's all I'll say for that. And perhaps for Sacred Heart overflow parking. Since then, residents complain that it hasn't been an issue, and two of the residents have parties or some get-togethers, and they want their people to be able to park, the visitors to park on the north side of Bryan Drive. I did go out and look and talk to the residents. One was a phone call. One, she came back and called me. The other requester was in support of removing the no parking signs. He had full support. The one across the street kind of gave me a neutral. So what I was waiting to hear back from her, and it's been 2+ weeks. And I have not heard back from her on whether there'd be some sort of, issue or support. And so what I've come to the conclusion of is that the no parking signs on her side of the street would remain, and the 3 of the no parking signs on the north side of Bryan Drive, where the 2 residents are in support of because they want parking, we would remove those signs. And then the one sign that would still remain is the one closest to the intersection, but rather than just say no parking, we would change that to no parking here to corner.
Okay. So the 1, 2, 3 signs that you're recommending we do remove on the one side
Right, that's on the
cover an
northern
area of about what length? Is it 3 houses length, or is it longer than
It's
that?
2 house lengths, but the one house has a long frontage, so it'd almost be like the equivalent of
3
houses.
normal
like,
lots?
Yeah, 3 normal lots, right. Which roughly, in this case, I have a picture here that we didn't have a chance to, put together and pretty up for the commission here. But the 3 signs are visible on the Google Street View, and the one sign would be remaining. I would say it probably covers a span of about 200 feet. So if
Okay.
you were looking.
That's fair.
And then on the other side, no parking would remain. That's a very wooded area, so that way that would keep any riffraff from whatever. But it also helps
Is that a
that,
technical term?
yeah. But it also helps that, just in case you had parking on
Yeah.
both sides, the road's not
Narrow.
the widest. So it would make sense to keep that as no parking. And I thought that was a perfect compromise for them, so.
So from an engineering perspective, you're okay, certainly the road can accommodate what we're doing.
Right.
We're putting one you're recommending that we allow parking on the one side.
Right.
And the rest of the road is wide enough and safe enough from an engineering
Right.
perspective to do
Correct.
it. Yeah,
So it would be to remove 3 no parking signs on the north side
on the north side.
and to change the one sign from no parking to no parking here to corner.
The signs on that side currently say no parking this side.
That's correct. That's why we would take them out. And then the one just actually says no parking. I think that this side has faded out, the very first one.
I don't remember doing this. I don't know how many years
It
ago.
was about 15.
So it was before my time
Yeah.
on the commission.
Right.
Okay.
And Sacred Heart with their parking garage at and the nursing school, all that, doesn't seem to have anybody parking anywhere near that area.
Back then, there were a couple concerns,
Right.
whether it was overflow or other
Right.
things that
Right.
were.
Nighttime activities, whatever you
Okay.
call it, yeah. So.
Jeremy, any police thought on why we did it then, or should reverse part of it now, or?
It looks like it really only affects that one house. It's really that one person's property. So if they don't mind people parking in front of their house and the road's wide enough for emergency vehicles and fire, it looks like it's still a 2-lane road even if somebody parks on one side. So I don't see there being an issue as long as the resident doesn't mind people parking there. As long as they understand that it's going to be anybody parking there, not just
That's right, yeah.
not just friends and family.
Right.
Once you open it, it's open.
Yes, it's open.
It's for anybody. So
Right.
people that live on Park Ave that want to have a party,
They can
and
turn
now
the
they're going to park on Bryant Drive.
Yep.
That potential is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we don't, and I wasn't around for the 15-year ago thing. I just, thinking ahead, don't want to get in for a tit for tat. Well, now we like it, now we don't.
Right, exactly.
You know what I
Not like
mean?
don't put it back. If
Right.
it's
No, yeah.
gone, it's gone. You know.
Yeah. It seems pretty sensible what you're recommending, at least to me. Any questions from our folks online regarding making these couple edits, changes? Okay. All right, so Bill, do you want to, if you'd like to, would you please make a motion to talk about
Sure.
the removal of the 3 on the north side and
And
the
change.
other no parking
yeah.
to here sign, where it would go?
Yeah, there's 4 existing signs, and so the one closest to Park Avenue, that's the one we would keep for safety reasons. We would change that from no parking to no parking here to corner, and that would be the existing sign closest to Park Avenue.
Okay.
The other 3 signs on the north side of Bryan Drive would be removed
Okay.
per the support of the 2 people that front along that section.
All right,
And they
Kevin.
happen to be related too.
So I'll second that motion so that we can discuss it as an amendment to item 4E. Discussion on the 2-part amendment to 4E, the removal of the signs and the changing of the one sign. Anything from the public? No. All right, we'll go back to the board. So the amendment is, as Bill said, an affirmative vote will be removing signs on the north side and changing the one sign he mentioned. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 7-0. Thank you. Prue, you with us? I know we're making a lot of changes for you.
I'm here.
Good. All right, we got just a few more things. Item 4F, Chambers and Johnson, stop ahead sign and stop pavement markings and stop bar on the street. So there's a couple parts to this.
For those who don't know, Chambers at Johnson Drive, Chambers Street and Johnson Drive. I'm trying to think of the current businesses there now, but it's located near the circle there, the Route 1 and Black Rock Turnpike Circle. You go 1 block over as you're going up the 95 northbound ramp. That's Johnson Drive. I think Fairfield Lighting used to be there.
Yeah.
And that intersect, because you have a lot of out-of-towners that are going from Black Rock Turnpike or Route 1 to go on to the Connecticut Turnpike, there's a lot of through traffic there. Anybody that visits Commerce Drive that wants to get to Kings Highway, there's a lot of through traffic there. So it's a very busy 4-way intersection. It is already 4-way stop.
It is. Yeah.
But according to the request, there's a lot of people that are ignoring that. And whether it's an enforcement issue or whether it's, they're just a standard stop sign, the stop bar is probably worn out. The thought there we would put stop sign ahead. We could put stop on the pavement, and we could certainly put all the stop bars on the signs. We could even consider a red stripe. So there's really like 4 different things that could be done. I don't know if we have to do all 4 of them. That's something, it's a little
What do you
bit
guys
open for
think?
discussion.
This actually came from, I think Sergeant Cobb might have put this.
Right, I thought that was, but I didn't want to say
We've
incorrect.
had I think 44 accidents in the last 4 years at that intersection.
Yeah, so that,
Not that it's not clearly marked, but I think it's just people in a hurry,
well, they're trying to get.
rushing through their volume. So I think people are blowing it. So I think it's really just a matter of putting an emphasis on the 4-way intersection.
Okay.
So I think as much as we could do would probably be helpful.
Just-
At minimum, if we did the post delineators and stop on the pavement will help, just kind of emphasize the stop sign itself. We do enforcement there all day long, but when we're not there, it's still going to happen. So I think we just need to somehow emphasize the stop signs.
Anything and everything is kind of what you're saying.
I think
I agree.
the post delineators and stop on the pavement, I think.
We probably should look at the signs too. I don't know how old they
Maybe
are.
update
If
them.
they're old, maybe put new ones in that are more retroflective.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they have a little bigger version too, right?
They might be
One size
up.
up, still one size that could fit on a single pole.
Okay.
And then also like the one slip lane, the yield. There's
Yeah.
no shark teeth.
Right.
The yield pavement marking.
Oh, yeah,
coming-
okay.
Coming from Chambers to the right.
Yeah, we should add
Yeah.
that too.
All right, so there's a lot of things we could do here. So, what we could do, I'm not saying we should, is we could kind of sort of approve this with kind of a deferral to you guys on anything and everything that makes good sense and smart sense that's not either breaking the bank or doing something outside, the pleasure of the board. Something like that might work, kind of an all-in. What do you guys think out there? I don't want to micromanage all of these things because there's 4, 5,
Sounds
6 things in
appropriate.
there that may or may not
Yeah,
make sense.
It's an
No,
engineering
sounds appropriate.
solution.
Yeah.
That's a gnarly intersection, so it's an engineering solution. So I think Bill's suggestion, is sound. If this is, in a perfect world, you put a traffic circle in there, but that's me with my crazy idea. So
Well, that's not a crazy idea because that is a difficult intersection. It really is.
that's a bad intersection. People just
It
blast
is.
right through there east-west.
They do all the time. I know.
There's a lot of tractor trailers in
a lot of
that
truck
area.
traffic.
You'd have
Yeah, there
to
is.
do 120.
And there's more and more families moving into these areas, and there's more and more kids and more school buses and activity and traffic. So, I would be in favor of not just what's before us, but anything else, you guys think makes sense. You guys are the brains of the operation for those particulars.
Well, we could do a formal vote, or we could just say that we would approve any stop sign improvements at the intersection, and that kind of covers it all.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'd all be MUTCD compliant. And then I think that's what we could just vote for, is to improve the intersection with any associated stop sign improvements.
I think that makes sense.
Crosswalks too.
Yeah,
There aren't any.
The ADA ramps are, except for the one corner, there's ADA ramps there.
And if you guys think it's going above and beyond, or there are some above and beyond ideas that you think make sense to bring back to us, either for information only, or to say, hey, we think we should also do this, and you might want to vote on it. I trust you guys to do all of those things and make those delineations between what we're voting for and what else might make sense.
And again, sometimes on another typical intersection or whatever, maybe we'll do, step 1, then step 2. A lot of times they say to do that, you do the low hanging fruit, then you kind of continue on and then go for the more expensive stuff if the situation hasn't been resolved. But Jeremy made a good point. With 44 crashes, and then Frank, Meg, and I had discussed this a little bit because of the accident history there in the past. We said, even if we had to put, say, $10,000 worth of signs or whatever, with 44 crashes, that's money well spent, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and it's kind of a showcase intersection. I mean, there's a lot of things going through there, so.
right.
So I would second your motion as you made it. Prue, did you catch what Bill said? If you want to repeat it for Prue?
It would be.
I did. But is he not making a motion? Are we just, I have here, to approve any stop or yield signs or pavement markings to improve the safety at the intersection.
That's fine.
Does that capture the spirit?
Yeah,
Does that capture the
that's
spirit?
fine,
Okay.
yeah. Rather than have her redo it, that's fine, that covers
That's
it.
good.
Yep.
I would just request that we also add in Frank's comments about making sure that the pedestrian crosswalk is also marked.
Oh,
And I think
thanks. I
it looks like
Oh,
it's
okay, yeah.
the west
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
I think based on where the handicap, you
Right.
almost do a crosswalk to that little island, then cross on the west-hand
Right.
side, and then on the south side, right?
Yeah, if there were
That's the
faded,
point.
if it was faded crosswalks, it wouldn't have to go before the board, but if it's a new one, you might as well get it approved, like Emmeline said, yeah.
The
You
extra
can add that
pavement markings will
crosswalk.
help.
Yeah, just add and crosswalk improvements.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
fantastic. All right, so that's what's before us. Is there any further comments from the board on 4F as amended? Anything from the public? Yes, sir.
Thanks. I just wanted to mention, this is fascinating, by the way. I'm Doug Niffen. I'm an RTM member, recently elected. Westport had a real problem with the intersection of Bayberry Lane and Cross Highway. And if you go up Bayberry now from, I guess, Long Lots, you head north on Bayberry, you come to that intersection, it's got the kitchen sink thrown at the problem of accidents there. So I just offered up, if you wanted to see something,
Template.
the corpus delicti, if you will, that's in place.
Thank you for that. That's great, because that's kind of what we're talking about
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
is throwing a bunch of things, worthwhile things.
Yeah, and they had a lot of accidents there, and, it's not too far from the school and a lot of traffic. So,
Thank you, Doug.
you're welcome.
Congratulations on your election, too.
Sir, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
The fun just begins.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, he'll want to speak under new business, he has something to ask the board here, so.
All right, so we have an amended 4F in front of us. Any further comments? If not, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. 7-0. Okay. All right, so we're good there. Okay, item number 5. We added this to the agenda the other day when Mega and I and Bill and Jeremy were just, looking at the agenda for what would go on it. And there were a couple things here that we wanted to at least throw out there. And the thought was, we just wanted to throw them out there so that people on the commission had a few weeks to go drive by, check them out. So they very well may be voting items next month or a month subsequent to that. But they were things that had some components to it that Bill can briefly speak to. But it was just kind of FYI for any discussion, but we wanted to give people a heads up on some things that might be coming down the pike. Give us a little homework as well. So Bill, number 5, the FTA discussion on the following. There is a stop sign request at Samp Mortar Drive at Brookside. And please note, the Google image that was attached was kind of old. And on this particular one, you guys can speak, but there's a number of areas where these roads intersect.
Yeah,
So,
believe it or not, there
it
are
wasn't-
4 Sam Motor,
it wasn't-
Brookside.
It wasn't crystal clear what we were looking at, and it's kind of a spaghetti-looking thing, So we wanted to give everyone a chance to understand which intersection we're talking about and to go give it a gander, because we spent a bunch of time on it, and it took us a while to figure out which one we were looking at. So that's why this one's here. So Bill, if you want to brief us on that.
Yeah, it is not the one, it's not the one by the beach, which is what we thought, or maybe.
At first, that's what I thought it was, exactly.
Well, there was one in the
That's what I
past
thought
there.
it was, yeah.
It's the one south and east of that, on the on Brookside,
Right.
where it's the non, it's hard to say through traffic because a lot of people use that too, but it's not as the main road.
I guess we could say 281 Brookside Drive. is
Yeah,
the
okay, you have the
intersection.
intersection.
281
There you
Brookside
go.
All right, that's a
is
great.
the
that's a great
intersection
Thank
that's
you, Jeremy.
in question.
281 Brookside.
So if everyone could drive by 281 Brookside in the next few weeks, so they are requesting a stop sign, the visibility's tight, the traffic, has a tight turn there, and there's a couple other reasons to consider doing something at that intersection. So we wanted to alert you guys to it, so that, please, if you have any comments on it, that's fine, but if not, it was an FYI.
So the request was to add stop signs there?
Yeah, or just coming up. So coming
up
south,
Santa Morta.
south on Santa Morta towards Brookside, slight sightline issue to the right and left.
Okay.
And they
Yeah.
were hoping to get a stop sign just at, I don't know if it was going to be a three-way stop or if they were just
Okay.
looking for a stop, because but it is a little bit of an incline coming up down Santa Morta, and then
It is.
it's hard to look to the right.
It is. So we have a little homework, if we could all cruise through there, and then if it's on the next agenda or the one after, we will at least I'll speak for myself, I'll know what intersection I'm talking about.
Guys,
And again,
what's
that brings up.
I looked at the other one.
what's the question?
One of the other ones.
We got a question here on,
Yeah,
go ahead, Jeff.
what's the question? I ride my bike up that hill twice a week. What's the issue?
The intersection where 281 Brookside is, the sight line is difficult in both directions, I believe, to some degree. And the request is to put a stop sign there. That's what came.
Up the hill or up the hill or down? Up the hill or down the hill?
You would be going up the hill.
Up the hill.
Yeah.
That's, where Santa Morta intersects Brookside.
Yeah.
At the top of the hill.
Yeah.
But again.
So Santa Morta, I know that. I've been up that hill hundreds of times. So where Santa Morta hits Brookside, so the concern is the view from Santa Morta or the view from Brookside?
Santa
Mortar.
Okay.
Coming
It's very-
up, taking the right or the left. Yes.
Okay. And is that a cut through there? People cut through there?
I think so.
Could be.
Not as much as the, not as much as the other, but,
Yeah.
but again,
Yeah,
just.
I'm just trying to understand that. I'm trying to understand the issue because I know that site. I know that extremely well. So what's
It's
the
just
issue?
sight line, the request is due to sight line and safety at the top of the hill as you're looking right and left to turn onto Brookside.
From Santa Morta.
From, yeah.
Okay, cool. I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, sure.
And again, one of the few stop side warrants usually are tied into volumes. There is one though that is sight distance, but that's usually sight distance that's non-correctable in terms of if it's a hill, a sharp curve. If it's a vegetative sight distance, where again, making sure there's nothing in the right of way, then that's correctable, and therefore that's sometimes where we turn down the stop signs is because it's correctable. I just want to let people know.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're not going to cut down a hill, it'll cost you so much more money to do that or something else. So
Right.
those are the things that we look at. So
All right, so no action to take on that tonight, just FYI. In the second part of 5, there was a request for a crosswalk at Mill Hill Lane and Mill Hill Road. And again, at first glance, we wanted to better understand it and kind of throw it out there for folks to take a peek at and come back with some thoughts when it comes back. That's the gist of it. I will get to you. Yep. So that's in front of the commission. Bill, you want to just brief us on that?
on Mill Hill Lane and
Yeah, just kind of give us what you think so far, or what you know so far.
Mill Hill Lane is a town-maintained road. It serves about 7 to 10 houses. Former fire chief used to live there. In the request, they say there's 7 or 8 students that cross to go to the Mill Hill Elementary School there.
Okay.
So I don't dispute that at all. I mean, it's one of those things where, they're on one side, they got to get to the other side of the road. With the crosswalk request, though, a couple things that have to be considered. And that is when you do a crosswalk, usually you have to have the handicap accessibility. And so Mill Hill Lane is pretty steep. So that, I'm not saying it can't be done, but that's one of the things to be concerned with. But more importantly is, and we've been warned by the state several times on this, a crosswalk basically tells people it's safe to cross there. So you have to make sure there's adequate sight distance to
For cars to know that,
right.
for cars to know there is one.
Because obviously, as you're driving, you see the crosswalk. That's a wonderful educational or alertness tool. But again, if they're coming around a corner and then it's there all of a sudden and someone's already started in the crosswalk, it
Thinking
can
they're
get
safe.
pretty dangerous, yeah. So those are the things to consider. A quick glance, and we did not measure it, but we would have to look at the sight distance to see, and it looks close. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah, it looks pretty close.
It looks close. It's not, oh, wow, plenty of sight distance, but I'm not saying, uh-oh, there's no way. So we'll have to probably outright measure it. But hopefully by the next meeting, we'll be able to do that and.
Police and engineering, a public.
We just made that all no tow. Remember, we just made that tow zones.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the last things we voted on by the school. There was
That's
parking and there's sight
That's good to
lighting.
know, because when you put a crosswalk in too, even if it's near a school, that means no parking, now it's 30 feet on either side of the crosswalk. So you lose 4 parking spots plus the crosswalk
Well,
itself.
over here, I don't
So you
think
could
there's
lose
any
almost
parking,
6.
It's no
But
parking.
if it's no parking, then you don't have to worry about
It's going to be
school
difficult
parking.
getting the ped ramp in on the
Yes,
north
I
side
know
of the road,
that.
though.
That's my
To your
fear.
point with the grade.
Again, just initial look, we'll look at a lot
Yeah.
So
closer.
let's take a peek at it from
Yeah.
safety, engineering, and public works, and if it makes sense, we will bring it back for consideration or modification. So just an FYI on that one.
Right. And to Jeff's point, if we can't do that, maybe there's some sort of traffic calming that could be
Sure.
looked at as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique intersection for,
And they don't have a choice, they have to cross.
Yeah.
That's where it's.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to
tough.
go.
Yeah.
Sidewalks across.
It's not like, well, if you walk down another block, that's the
Yeah.
safer way, sorry, but that's the safe, this.
Built up on the hill too, and you can't even walk down.
Right.
yeah, it's gonna be,
Exactly.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
It's basically like a private drive essentially.
Yeah. All right, so that one's out there for us to give some consideration. Was there a public comment on this one?
Yes, if I may, without,
Sorry, get open for public comment?
Oh, is Nicole here? Do you know Nicole or no?
Yes, we are gonna go to public comment on this. Let me recognize Doug, then I'll go to you, Nicole, okay? Go ahead, sir.
okay.
Just on this item, yeah.
Can I give you some pieces of paper here?
Does it pertain to this item?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, what I did is I in my campaigning, I have encountered 2 families. Sorry, Jeff and Emmeline, I didn't know you were going to be.
I can provide them
Okay.
copies.
But the two of the families that I door knocked on, who live along Mill Hill Terrace, said, "Gee, the cars go really fast here." One of the families lives directly across from the Mill Hill Elementary School, across Mill Hill Terrace. So, based on that, I sent in a request to the on-site, the town's traffic authority. But thinking that once I saw that you guys were going to meet here, I thought maybe I could just come in and take 2 minutes.
Well,
And
where's Mill Hill Lane on this?
You're
Very
almost,
bottom,
it's almost
yeah.
off the.
Mill Road is it?
That's where you'll see add crosswalk is,
Yeah.
we were just talking about
Right,
that.
right.
So if I can just, on the upper left, I put a little box with 4 items. And this is just under the heading for you all, if you'd be willing to consider it. Obviously, it will take some study. But one was to add some speed monitors. So on this, you can see the neon yellow ad and a your speed 45 on the lower left. And then if you follow Mill Hill Terrace up a bit, you'll see another
I see it.
45. I can't say that I have enough knowledge to say that's where they belong, but it was just the concept that the 2 families talked to. Item B was a deer crossing. One of those 2 families said, "Gee, the deer come through my property and into the open space by the Maplewood South senior housing." So she just said, when you talk to the traffic commission, traffic authority, could you just mention that? The third item C in the upper left, add a stop sign at Mill Hill Terrace crosswalk to create an all-way stop. So if you look at the upper right of this chart, you can see that I have pointed out 2 existing stop signs. So if you're coming south on Mill Hill Road, you'll hit a stop sign. If you're on Mill Hill Terrace, coming right to left, you'll hit a stop sign. But gee, if you're coming up Mill Hill Terrace from left to right, it's just a straight shot through. So when I started putting all these together, I said, holy cow, if you think about where the Maple Woods at Southport is, which is the very lower left, you've got a straight shot up Mill Hill Terrace all the way past the school, past where Mill Hill Road intersects, and then it goes, goes all the way, Mill Hill Terrace goes all the way down. So the thought was, should that intersection be a 3-way, all-way stop sign area?
Got it?
And then item D, I just picked up from your agenda in the lower right.
At Mill Hill Road, Doug?
I'm sorry?
Mill Hill Road and Mill Hill Terrace 3-way, is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get this to you guys. All right, so this, and.
So I just
and
wanted-
item
And
D
Jeff,
is
just to let you know,
what we're
it's the-
talking about. Okay, I got it.
It's the one a little bit further away from the school, just to let you know.
And
Yeah.
given that it was a school and, a number of roads converging, and there actually is a traffic monitor person who during school hours is at the corner of,
The crossing guard.
yeah, right where that 45 speed is, just right there. But I don't know, just, and by the way, I live on Mill Hill Road myself, sort of down at the bottom of the hill. So I come up this way a fair amount, and I end up stopping at that Mill Hill stop sign. And it's really hard to see around the corner to the right. You all have talked about some, cutting back some brush, but boy, the cars coming up Mill Hill Terrace from the right, or in this case, from the lower left to the upper right, they're so often zooming, and I have to hit the brakes twice to make sure I am safe.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Thank you.
just wanted to offer
Thank you
this
for
up.
this. This ties into this item. It's more to it and more
It sort
global,
of adds-
but that's a good thing.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And I want to make sure that the guys that are online have an opportunity to see what we're looking at. But
Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk.
This is very thoughtful. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All right, so we will make sure that you get this in.
One more.
I do. Nicole, I'd like to recognize you, please.
Thank
Go ahead.
you. Thank you. Sorry. I just wanted to circle back quickly to the Mill Hill Lane request. So I'm a mom. I live on Mill Hill Lane. The whole street is all kids that now it's turned over in the last few years. It's all young kids and families that cross the street, and also Split Rock Road behind us. They all cut through our yard, which we're happy with, and they all cross the same street that we do. When you're going to consider it, if you can just realize there's no way for our kids to get to a sidewalk across a crossing guard, there's no option. And during pickup and drop off, that street gets really crazy with all of the cars, and someone's going to get hurt. So if the crosswalk isn't a safe option, if you guys can just try to come to the table with another way that can make it a little safer for our kids, because I'm just really concerned that something's going to happen to one of them.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments, and we certainly, I agree that we need to find something to help that particular part of this, whether it's on its own, part of something larger. It may be a crosswalk. It may have to be something else based on some of the other factors that engineering has discussed with us tonight. But we will give it our attention and find something that we believe works.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Sarah Mason. I just have a comment.
Yes, ma'am?
So I'm the bike and pedestrian chair.
Welcome.
We recently did a audit with McKinley, a walk audit for Safe Routes to School. We're planning to do more of those, Riverfield, Ludlow, middle and high school. If there is appetite at Mill Hill to do one of those, I'm happy to work with whomever over there to get something like that on the books. So I just wanted to offer that up, and also as a consideration as the traffic authority is looking at alternatives, that might be a nice data-driven approach to get some information from the Safe Routes to School program.
Thank you, Sarah. That's a great suggestion.
The other, if is Nicole, are you still there or no?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. I was, again, just trying to think of if for some reason it's determined that a crosswalk could be done, but let's just say it's 50 feet in the opposite direction of the school, like closer to 95 for whatever reason. Do you and again, you can't speak for everybody without talking, but if it was deemed that that was a better location, would parents be willing to walk a little bit out of the way to walk safely across and then come back? I just wanted to.
I think so. I think it's not the distance, it's the fact that as long as we can safely get to the crosswalk.
Okay, I just wanted to check that.
Sorry, there's a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
There's no sidewalk, as you know, like
Right.
on our side of the street, and that's the part that makes it difficult. Is like I would walk to the other crosswalk that's already there, but there's no sidewalk to get there.
To get to it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to know, because if we put the crosswalk further and then people still cross, not in the crosswalk, but then we really didn't do anything. That's why I wanted
Yeah,
to.
I think as long as there's a safe way to get to the crosswalk.
Okay, good to know.
Then at least we have the option.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Nicole.
does somebody have her contact information? I mean, I don't want to do it online or whatever, but if you wanted to contact the engineering department or the RTM member, please do so, and then we'll have that, or even Sarah was on the phone from the First Selectman's office. Then if we need to get in touch with you, if plans develop, we could do that for you.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So that's before us. No, yes, Jeff?
Kevin, yeah, hey, Bill, I'm just looking at the Google Street, and it looks like there's a little, Nicole, it looks like there's a little cut-through path there where they cut across, if you will, that little triangle. So, Bill, that's something you might consider as well, because they cut through and it just faces the school right there. So if you were to put, ideally some stairs in to cut through that triangle, it goes
I know.
right.
It's not ADA compliant.
It's not 80, that's what I mean. Our own rules sometimes hurt us. But I thought there was some sort of little cut. And that's why I asked about the other is, if they're cutting through, if that's safer, well, then maybe we can work something out.
The other side of the intersection, you're going to have an easier time getting the compliant.
Yeah, you knew.
Getting closer to
You read my mind. That's what I'm saying.
We'll have to look at it.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
You're not
But
allowed-
thanks,
you're
Jeff.
not allowed
We'll
to put-
look at that option too.
You're not
Yeah.
allowed to put stairs in?
They're not ADA compliant.
So stairs, you're not allowed to put stairs in at all?
Not in a
Not
public
unless you add a
right-of-way.
ramp.
Not unless you have a ramp with it.
Wow.
Do you know
That's
who would
restricted.
handle, like, would a crossing guard be an option, or is that different?
They may have talked to the Board of Ed for that.
That would be a Board of Ed question.
Okay. Because I've gone to the school about this, and then they said it was like a town thing, but either way, as long as we have something, and I'm willing to go to another.
I don't think they'll put a crossing guard if there's no crosswalk.
No crosswalk, yeah.
They'll kind of need a crosswalk to get the crossing guard.
That's a yes, right, yeah.
Well, we all agree there's a situation that hopefully that we can find some improvement for.
Absolutely.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention and to
Right.
Thank you.
Doug as well.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to throw this one out there, because we knew it wasn't straightforward. Yes, no, even, maybe. There's a lot of moving pieces here. So we thought it best to throw this one out there, let us go check it out, come back whenever the appropriate time is, and work with our departments to maybe put our heads together. Jeff, I thought you were raising your hand, I'm sorry. All right, so with that said, anything else on this before we move on to item 7, old business? I don't have any old business by anyone here?
Just one, whether it's old or new business, I'm not quite sure, but again, trying to find we don't really have a guideline of what should go to the FTA and what shouldn't, if you know what I mean. And so on some of these, in an effort, because we could have possibly had 23 items go to the FTA.
Right.
And by meeting with the police department and Jeremy, kudos to you and your staff there, reducing some of the
I could take it from here, you can save your voice. We made some progress on this. I met with Christine Brown just before this meeting, and the flow chart that they are putting together, it's still not done or complete or approved, but they've taken the comments that we've made in previous meetings about all of the various inputs that we're getting. We're getting things that could be before us, should be before us, and we don't know if they really belong in for us, but before us, but they're coming from sometimes public works, sometimes police, sometimes engineering, citizens, websites, portals, queue alerts, phone calls, emails to the first selectman. So there's a number of inputs that kind of have us on a swivel, if you will. So they're trying to, with the help of the consultant who's almost wrapped up his initial work and recommendations, putting together a flow chart of things that are coming in from these various sources to kind of streamline them, because they followed a number of buckets. There are some things that come in that are absolutely things that should be before us to get voted on, considered, modified, et cetera. And there are some things that need to go to other departments like Public Works to fix this, you guys to enforce that, you guys to engineer this, things that don't have to come here for a vote. And then there are some no-brainers that are just, repaint this, or things that are just things we can't do, like I want a speed bump on Post Road. It doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons, and there are things that need to be responded to by the administration and need to be filtered through the proper channels, whether it's out to the departments, whether it's to us, or whether it's just back to the citizen, explaining to them why you can't put a speed bump on a state road in downtown Fairfield, or whatever the example might be, kind of the things that are just things you can't do.
Right, and I just
So
wanted to.
they're working on that, and
Right.
they made progress. I've pushed them on that, and I think the progress will be before us in the next couple months. I know the Bike Ped Committee is working with that group as well, and so I'm expecting some pretty positive progress over the next couple months.
Right. What I wanted to just highlight, and again, it's under that same line, but if there's something that does not meet MUTCD or does not meet state, like you said, state standards,
Right.
where it's almost like it's an automatic denial.
Correct.
Should we still be bringing these before the board for the final? Or if that's a discussion to be made by that group or that flow chart.
That's a great peripheral
I just
question,
wanted
because
Anthony and Jeff and other people.
I think there are certain things that we're going to have to briefly consider and say yes or no to based on criteria, right? You can't do this, and we need to make sure that those things are properly reaching us. Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's a yes in general, but I think there are still some kind of no-brainers that don't have to come here. It's kind of
Right.
it's kind of weeding through the muck a little bit, right?
Yeah. No, I just wanted to.
Yeah, so we're still getting our sea legs on that, but they are working hard on putting that process in place so that we have everything in front of us that should be and things that shouldn't be. Yeah.
And just an update, I think, actually, that was one that didn't come up, was just to let you know, the fire lane, Anthony, we're going to create a work order for that.
Perfect.
So we have that all straightened out. It didn't have to go to the FTA because it's not in a public right of way, and
Okay.
so that's just as an example. So.
Things like that. Exactly. Right. Okay. All right. Anything else under old business? I've got one thing under new business. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but our December meeting, I talked to Jennifer Carpenter upstairs before our meeting today, and she reminded me that our December meeting, we have to do two things. Even though we started in February or March, we need to get back on a kind of a calendar year cadence. So we need to set our calendar for next year, our meeting calendar. So if everyone could look at your calendars for next year for either vacations or holidays, so that we're prepared to have that discussion. And also we have to do the election of officers for next year as well. So those two things we have to do at our December meeting, in addition to whatever else is before us. Okay?
Right.
That's all I have. Anything else under old business or new business or general comments by the board members? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Move. Frank? Anthony? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, objections? Thank you. Good evening.